What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest gaming podcast on the internet, the One Up Gamescast. And we are back. It's a new year. Not a new me, unfortunately. I'm still the same guy I was a couple of weeks ago. But it is a new year, and I'm joined, as always, by my brother from another mother, the man with the plan, Master Chief in the streets, Master Cheeks in the sheets, Jag Gibb. Happy New Year, mate.
Happy New Year. We made it.
We did it. We're bloody
Don't
back.
make it out, but we made it.
We're bloody back. Yeah. This is you know, it's one of those things where it's like I was gonna send this meme last year, and then I almost sent it this year, but I ended up just telling Jake the meme where it was like, it's that meme, and it's Ryan Gosling, and he's like in the Blade Runner movie, and it's literally just got the caption of like, "Hey, I've already effed up 2025. 2026 is going to be my year." It's like that's what it felt like day one. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a big year, tough year. But no,
Hectic start, and I'm sure we've got it much better than others. So
yeah, true.
Yeah, we'll get there.
True.
We'll get there. Big year of gaming, though.
Big year of gaming. And it's like, it's already begun. It's like, I thought, we'll ease into the year with a fun little episode, but we already have so much to talk about. We got CES to talk about. We're also going to be taking this opportunity to talk about the Switch 2, because that thing, mate, like, my goodness.
Basically.
Yeah, honestly, that thing's leaking everywhere. Like, I don't know. Nintendo need to get their taps fixed, man, because the faucets are not dripping. They are gushing water right now. Like, we've effectively seen the thing. But yeah, we'll be talking about our predictions going into this year for the Switch 2 and all that fun stuff. But, mate, we'll jump straight into it, right? We're going to be talking about CES and all the fun things that got announced at CES. And unexpected things, to be honest. Quite a few movie, TV show announcements that happened there. That was interesting. We got the...
Was that at CES, was it?
Yeah, that was a Sony CES show. Have you watched... You probably... You need to watch it. It is the trippiest thing ever. So it literally goes from them talking about... they're talking about some monitor. Then it goes to them talking about like their version of a self-driving car, like a self-driving concept car. Then
you want to hear Engadget's headline for that?
Yeah.
Sony's Afeela 1 feels like a PlayStation 4 in the PS5 era. I think it tells me all I need to know.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. But yeah, then they talked about the movies, and then they talked about a headset. But not just any headset. The headset that's going to be used at every NFL? Is that what they call it over there? NHL, NFL? They're football.
One's football, one's hockey, I think.
Yeah, NHL's hockey. So NFL game. And it's got like their name all over. It's got big Sony branding, and it's like what the presenters and the on the field staff wear, like those headsets with the mic. So they can all talk to each other.
Right.
It was a time. It was an interesting time, that show.
Or the investors called or anything.
It definitely felt like it, but I feel like CES, like that's what people are there for. That's what they've come for. It's what they're horny for. But what got us horny is there's just a bunch of shows and movie reveals. Should we leave the biggest one for last and like work our way up?
Yeah.
All right. So the first thing we'll talk about is Ghost of Tsushima. Legends specifically got an anime announced that's coming to Crunchyroll in 2027. So
Jesus, that's a couple of years away.
A whole 2 years away. This feels like one of those things where it's like just as they were going out on stage, someone's
in the bathroom.
Yes.
Like, oh, shit, we should make a fucking anime.
Someone's gone, it's greenlit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, you're good. But yeah, I mean...
You can leave it in the PowerPoint.
yeah, legit. Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, so they were very specific with the wording that it is based on Legends. So Legends was originally like DLC, like that expanded upon the game, but it was the cooperative multiplayer mode. It featured more story-driven stuff and competitive modes, and it was inspired by mythology as opposed to like fact. So I would say Ghost of Tsushima relies very much on like real samurai traditions, real samurai, sort of like the way a real samurai acted and all that sort of stuff. Whereas like Legends was more like the myths of the samurai, their mythology, like the mystical side of things that you see in Legends and sort of and stuff like that. It was their cooperative mode. And that would appear to be what the anime is about. And honestly, probably a cool choice. I think that's a really good choice. And it kind of also reinforces that Legends is probably going to be back in Ghost of Yotei. We're probably going to see that multiplayer mode return. Maybe at launch this time as opposed to like waiting. Or maybe they just want to do what they did last time. It seemed to work for them. The only real information we have, and man, I'm going to butcher some names here, okay? So everyone just be nice to me. Takunobu Mizuno will direct the series with Jen Urabuchi writing the story composition. The anime will be made in collaboration with Aniplex and Sony Music serving as the music and soundtrack partner. No staff, no cast or anything like that. It's very early. But the cool thing about the director is, I was going to say we've seen his work before, but you definitely probably haven't watched this. So, Jake and I, and a couple other people have seen his work before. He directed an episode of Star Wars Visions, which was the anthology anime series that they did on Disney Plus, and he directed one of the best episodes. So that's good. He directed The Duel, which is very much a will fit right in with what they're probably going to do with this show. It definitely gives off samurai feels and a mystical side of things, thanks to like the Star Wars IP and that sort of stuff. So I'm excited. I just hope that it's 2 years away. We'll probably get drip fed stuff, but I don't know. I'm scared this is going to be one of these things that like in 2 years it's not going to come out and they're going to delay it and then eventually kill it. But who knows? Maybe we'll try to be hype. We also got the announcement. I feel like re-announcement. No, the announcement, because it was a TV show before. Now it is a film, that Horizon Zero Dawn is getting a film adaptation with Columbia Pictures and PlayStation Productions. They're partnering to bring us the Horizon Zero Dawn movie. What do you think, mate? You think they can pull it off in a film, or do you think the TV show had a better chance?
I actually, and this might surprise you, I think the film has a better chance.
I agree with you.
I think the TV show was going to have to get bogged down in more of why the world is the way it is.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like the movie can just tell a story in the world, and that'd be cool. Because if I'm going to sit there for 10 hours watching Zero Dawn, I want to hear how Elizabeth Sobek did it. You know what I mean? Like, I want some detail. I want the gritty info, which I loved in the game. Read and listened to every fucking possible scrap of information in that game. So, yeah, if it's a movie, though, I'm happy for that to be a much smaller part of it. So it might just be more action and more immersement in the world that is the year 3000 and whatever. So I don't know. I don't hate it. It's still just fascinating to me that PlayStation keeps trying to grow this franchise outside of the game. I'm not against it necessarily. I'm surprised at how much effort they're putting in. Like, the game's in Lego, for fuck's sakes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. They obviously see something in this franchise. I love Horizon, but they see something I don't.
Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that the guy who's in charge of PlayStation Studios literally comes from this studio?
Oh, but they'd already greenlit that Lego game years ago. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think he got the job because A, he's great at it, sure, but B, because they just love Horizon. Someone at Sony just loves this more than anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great game. I love it. I stand by it. I think it's one of their most interesting games, to be honest. But I'm just surprised that it's not getting its third game to cement that it's like here forever. You know what I mean? Like, part of me is like, that third game could just be the end. Like, I mean, if we get the third game at this rate, like, who fucking knows?
Well, I mean, we're supposed to get a MMO before then, set in this world, on console, from Guerrilla.
The third game could just simply be set in Asia. A place we haven't seen at all. Like, well, we've seen fucking America. you know, and I'm not going to talk the story of the second game, but like there's room for a third. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's something feels off about it. You know what I mean? It's almost like we're just getting. It's like I'm getting forced Horizon, but it's like I don't need to be forced. Just release a game. Just release the third game, and I'll go play it. You know, I'll buy a copy. I'll buy the big copy too. Like, so I don't know. I'm excited to see the film. I want video game adaptations to be like the Mario movie or the Last of Us TV show, where it's like I can go and talk to someone who's never played a video game in their lives and be like, "That's a good show. Check that out."
Yeah, fair.
Not have to sit there and explain why. Just be like, "Yeah, I trust that you'll enjoy the Last of Us TV show. Enjoy." And when you want more later on, speak to me.
Okay.
Like, you know. So I hope it's that good. And if anyone can do it at the moment, I feel like it's Sony. So I don't know. I can talk for hours and just ramble on, but it's just it feels weird. I don't know. How do you feel?
I think better about it being a movie than a TV show.
Yeah, we're lying there for sure.
Yeah, because like the thing I thought about was Halo, where it was like, at least if it's a movie and it flops, we don't have to worry about another one. You know what I mean? And I've only lost 2 hours of my life. Like,
I lost 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, with Halo, I lost like 100 hours. Like, it feels like 100 hours.
Again, though, like Halo got bogged down in just shit that was fucking irrelevant. Whereas, like, if that Zero Dawn TV show, if it at least followed Elizabeth Sobek or something, at least it's a little bit relevant. Like, oh, you know, we're not doing this. The Halo TV show sucks. We're not going there. We're not going there.
Yeah.
What else did they announce?
We should talk about a TV show that doesn't suck, mate, because The Last of Us season 2 got announced that it will air in April. So a lot.
It's gonna be
sooner than I thought.
very heavy.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize just how much heavier that fucking show can get.
Oh, they're about to. They dropped a little like sizzle reel of stuff from the second season, and there is quite a bit from the second game. Like, I think a lot more than I expected them to put in the second season.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No concrete date, just the fact that it's April. So I guess that's so if they change their mind and push it a little bit, or they can suddenly go, hey, it's coming out on the last day of April. We didn't lie. You know what I mean? Get over it.
It's probably more of a scheduling thing than anything.
Probably. But
Did
yeah.
you see the set shots that appeared online of like the hospital set? Like you know, there's like an area in Seattle, like there's a hospital, you go up on the roof and you got to drop in and all that. Did you see that online?
No, I didn't see it.
Look, I haven't played the game in a couple of years, but honestly, it looks one for fucking one.
Oh, really? Oh, well, that's all right.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
That's good.
Even all the overgrown like grass and shit. I know the first show had the budget, but like I think there's even more budget for this.
It would make sense. The first season was very, very successful. So
yeah,
I mean, it'd have to have been. They've churned out the second season really fucking fast. Like they've wanted to get it out.
Yeah, they've not mucked around. We should talk in more detail about it later on, like what we see season 3 and 4 going, but very excited.
Yeah, keen. Now, probably the most exciting news, mate.
Hell yeah.
Mate, Helldivers is coming to the big screen. Oh my god, I cannot freaking believe we're going to get Helldivers movie. Let's go. I mean...
We have to like go to the Witchy Proof cinema for this.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Mate, I'll come all the way to Melbourne. I don't care. I'll come now. We'll go gold class, honestly.
Oh, we should go gold. Oh, mate. It's a date.
Honestly.
It's a date. I'll buy you flowers.
Did you read the article I did on the website?
No.
Oh, okay. I need to read one section to you because I thought it was kind of funny. The film is still in its early stages with few details on the cast, director, or exact plot points at this time. However, the game's deep lore, fast-paced action, and cooperative elements provide a solid foundation for an exciting and potentially high-budget action movie sure to blow Mufasa 2 out of the water. Helldivers is coming in to make sure Sonic 4 doesn't have to do it again. Poor Mufasa, man. It didn't ask for any of this. No, I'm keen. I'm going to be really interested to see exactly what they do. I don't know whether they're going to go the Starship Troopers route and make it very much like... See, Starship Troopers feels like a parody movie, but not in the sense of like like an epic movie, you know what I mean? Where everyone's acting stupid, like everybody knows they're in a parody movie. Like Starship Troopers takes itself extremely serious in a silly, crazy. Starship Troopers was ahead of its time. It really was. Or they're just really going to lean into this world and be like, everything is patriotic. You're doing it for Super Earth. Make it very serious. Make it very dark. But whatever they do, all I need is the first trailer for the film to be a live action recreation of the first trailer for the game. I need the guy to come out, do his thing, have his family killed in front of him. That got us into the game. It could get people into the movie. I feel like people see that trailer, they'll be like, yeah, we're in.
That got our attention for sure.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know how you do this, but in a perfect world in my head, Act 1, very non-serious. Like, the boys are going to war for democracy, you know. Act 2, we get some sort of critical mission. We feel important. The boys are still doing it for democracy. It's all haha. Act 3, the most serious thing you've ever watched, leaving you in fucking tears by the end, and there's no sequel coming. They realize Super Earth sucks. That's it.
That would be great, actually. That would be great. The only thing I ask for is we need to make one up so big so that when the movie comes out, they put our cameo of us in the film and you just see the Fist of Family Values fly past. That's all I need. That's all I need.
And it's always coming back from a planet that we liberated a month ago.
Yeah, legit. It's like the space map's there and there's just this random dot where it's blue and it's just got 3 guys there. It's like, what are they doing out there? Ah, no one really knows. No one really knows. And then you just hear us over the radio. Ah, samples! I feel like that's like the ultimate cameo. We're the sample guys.
Still saluting that flag.
Mate, oh yeah, bro. Actually, that was so funny. I know I've got we're going off topic a bit, but yeah, I loved how it was like the flag was coming out, and I was just being a dickhead saluting, and you were like, "Do you have to salute the flag to make it go up?" And Jake's like, "No."
I found out a couple of days ago it goes faster if you salute it.
See, that's what I thought. I thought I was going crazy. That's why I was doing it.
So apparently, it wasn't a feature of the game. Like, as in, it wasn't deliberately scripted or whatever. But one of the developers, every time they were testing it, all the people in the squad would salute it for a bit of a joke. And so one of the developers just coded in a little, little cheeky boost if you salute it.
Bro, I thought I was going freaking crazy. Like, I legitimately felt like it was going quicker. And I
don't think it's like that much quicker than it's like, like it doesn't suddenly have an engine in it. You know what I mean?
Bro, what's crazy is like, the times where I've been stuck fighting enemies while this thing's going up, I'm like, why is this thing not going faster? What's going on? I swear it went faster before. Right. And it's because I was saluting the thing. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
I mean, I read it on Twitter, so like take it with a grain of salt. But
I reckon it's true.
As well.
Yeah, I reckon it's true. That's so funny. Oh, that's very Helldivers.
And see, I would love in the movie if it's just like, we got to raise a flag at one point and like one dude starts saluting it for some reason, it just goes up faster. It's never explained, it's never even acknowledged. It's just, if you go on pixel count, it's true.
I like it. That's so funny. Holy crap. And then yeah, there was a bunch of other stuff announced at CES, but like, I mean, would you want to talk about the graphics card, right?
Not really.
Yeah, I know. I didn't think you would, and I was just like, I just got to throw it out there because, like, if we didn't, someone would be like, "Did you guys know this happened?"
Yeah, look, I mean, Nvidia's announcing graphics cards. Obviously, that's always a pretty cool time because that sort of suggests where PC gaming is going. The cards are similarly priced to the 40 series, give or take. A lot of people are saying they're a smidge cheaper, but realistically, you won't be getting a Founders Edition. You'll be getting like a SUS or, like another card, which is probably a couple $100 more, which probably brings in line with the 40 series. So, yeah, they're a little bit faster. Some of them have a little bit more RAM, some of them don't, which is a bit disappointing. And a lot of AI features. To the point that DLSS 4 will now insert up to 3 frames per real frame from the game. So if you're running the game at 20 frames a second, DLSS will run it at 80 frames a second. I don't know how much lag that'll introduce. They suggest it's quicker than just playing the game natively, and I just don't know if that can be even possible. So, yeah, I don't know, a lot of stuff. They announced so much stuff. Like, like they announced this thing for PUBG called Ace, right? Or sorry, they announced a thing called Ace, and PUBG was demoed for it. And basically, it's like when you play like a game, and you can command like instead of having a co-op person, you can command like the other people in the squad.
Yep.
And you can tell them to attack or whatever. So this program, basically, you can just talk into your mic and just be like, "Hey, Ace or John or whatever you call the fucking your teammate." Like, so if you're playing duos in PUBG, you can tell the AI duo partner to be like, "Oh, go find me some 5.66 ammo," or "Go find me a car," or "We need a jerry can," and they'll go off, or can you flank to the right and cover me, and they'll do go over to the right and cover fire. Like, it's quite cool. But immediately after the conference, the PUBG Twitter account was like, "We haven't even greenlit this yet. Looks pretty cool, but." It's like, was it faked or was it real? Like, what are we what are we fucking looking at here?
It's a
So I don't know.
concept.
Like, the presentation was cool from what I've seen of it. The graphics cards are cool, but they're just a bit better than the 40 series, which is they were just a bit better than the 30 series, which is a bit better than the 20 series. But the problem is that they came out and they were like, the 5070, it's 4090 performance at half the price. And it's like, yeah, if you let the AI generate 3/4 of the fucking image, which might be fine in a lot of cases, but if someone thought they were going to get a literal 4090, like it's only going to work in workloads that are designed to do it, which is fine, like it's all good and fine, but I don't know, I just don't want to I just want to hype anyone up, you know what I mean? Like, they're fine, it's an incremental upgrade, just like it was last time, perfectly fine. No wheels were reinvented. You may hear otherwise. So anyway, something I didn't want to talk about. There's 4 or 5 minutes of new graphics cards.
Well, before we move on to our Switch 2 predictions for the year, shall we talk about the fact that the Switch 2 is basically revealed at CES? Because there were just a bunch of people who were basically demoing like a 3D mock-up of this bloody thing so they could show off their accessories. And there were many accessories, stuff for the Joy-Con, and like these mock-ups were like, yeah, this is how it's going to connect. This is how the magnet works. This is like they were effectively showcasing the console before Nintendo even had the opportunity to, which is insane. But there was a lot of info like about this thing. Like it's announced, Nintendo. Like, you don't have to hide it anymore.
That'll just bring the stage, I feel.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, mate, let's move on to the topic of the show. Let's talk about our predictions, our just general vibe leading into what could be a reveal next week, next month, next year. You know what I mean? Like, it's
gotta be this month. It's gotta be.
Yeah, I have a feeling. So let's talk about it, right? When do you think it's revealed? When do you think it comes out?
I could see like a reveal January, release March or April sort of thing. Maybe not March, maybe April. I'm more of an April.
Oh, bro.
I think it's got to be happening. Man.
We're like on the same wave, bro. I was like, we're gonna get a reveal in Jan. I don't think we're gonna get. I think we're gonna get a day. I think Nintendo's gonna tweet tomorrow. That's basically what it's gonna be. They're gonna drop their video, and I reckon April. I reckon mid-April we get the release. I don't think it's a long wait. I think it's a quick turnaround.
I think people are going to be so excited for this device that, like,
it's going to feel like a year wait.
Yeah, and like, people are going to have to save up till Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, give them that chance. Like, fucking announce it already. Like,
yeah, 100%.
The amount of people that I know who don't fucking game who have a Switch. You know what I mean? Like, even if just half of them want to Switch too.
It's like the modern Wii, you know what I mean? There were so many people that barely game that had a Wii that did stuff with it, you know? Like, Switch sort of took that mantle this time around, which is great, which is what we wanted. But also, I was thinking about this the other day. You know how I was like, oh man, they got to call it the Super Nintendo Switch. Like, they've got to call it the Super Nintendo Switch. I was so wrong. There was I thought about it, and there was never any chance on this freaking planet that it wasn't going to have 2 in the name.
It just has to be called the Switch 2.
It has to, because the Wii U fucked it. It's so hard. And I feel like that's what I was thinking. Like,
those people that don't game who have a Switch, they need to understand that
it's the next one.
New console.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Hopefully the next one can be the Super Nintendo Switch 2 or something. Like, I don't know. Like, people understand by then.
I think I want the most from it, man, is like, obviously the Xbox Series X is here, the PS5 is here. They've been here for like 4 years at this point, right? So, but they're 200-watt, 300-watt devices. Like, I understand the Switch 2 is not going to do everything they do, but I do hope the Switch 2 is just so much more snappier. I hope it has like an NVMe drive like they do, and just you hit something and it just fucking happens. You don't have to wait for a menu to appear. You don't have to wait 3 minutes for a game to load. Like, I'm not looking for like much better graphics. I'm not looking for much better frame rate. Like what the Switch 1 could do is great. Obviously, the more frames the better, the more res the better, sure. But I just the snappiness of this console. Like, we're so used to having tablets and phones that are snappy as fuck. The Switch 2 just has to like keep up. And it's going to be compared now to things like the Steam Deck and I mean CES. We probably should have spoken about it actually, like full of handheld announcements.
Yeah.
Although it
so
does appear
many.
like still it appears like Steam, Xbox, PlayStation are still waiting for those next AMD chips. But the there's so many,
so many.
But they're going to be compared to the Switch 2 now, and the thing that they all do is they're all snappy. They're running full computers for fuck's sakes.
Yep.
So I think what I really want for the Switch 2 is just
performance.
Snappy,
Yeah, it needs to perform better than the first one did because the games were already where we wanted them to be. You know what I mean? Nintendo
Honestly,
don't miss. Like, we just want better
I don't
performance.
need Odyssey 2 to be that much bigger than Odyssey 1.
Yeah, that's 100%. Like,
so I think,
yeah.
Like, I was just gonna say that I think it'll sell on Nintendo games alone, always. Like that's a given, right? Like that's like I'm not saying anything surprising to anyone, but I kind of want the Switch 2, like especially if Xbox and PlayStation are going to bring out handhelds. It might be the first time where its ability to play third-party games would be very beneficial. Like, because look, and again, if you're looking at the Xbox handheld and the Nintendo handheld, and it's like, hey, I've got to pick one because the games don't play on the other platform, even though Microsoft will probably bring them across at some point, you get to pick the Nintendo console. You know what I mean? But I think it'll help. Like, I think it'll help them stay completely ahead of the game. If it, like, obviously Microsoft's announced they want to bring Call of Duty to it. But if it's a decent port of Call of Duty, because this thing runs it, that'd be amazing. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And a lot of these leaks don't. Some of them talk about performance. I don't think it's going to be as expensive as we first feared, based on some of the leaks as well.
Yeah.
Like,
that was the next thing I wanted to talk about. Price. Do you have an idea of where you think this thing is going to land?
Yeah, I think it'll be just slightly more expensive than the Switch 1, which I'm going to have to go to JB's website and remind myself of the cost of that thing. Because it hasn't come down a cent since since the day it came out. Oh, JB, I do not need notifications from you. Thank you. So standard Nintendo Switch is $470. So I could see this one being like 500 flat.
Yeah. Yeah. I had 500, 550 at the top. Like, I think 550 is as high as it could go.
I could see him. And this is the thing, like, 550 sounds ugly, but the price that they're really worried about is like $399 in America or whatever. Like, it'll be sexy for that. Yeah, 550. Like, look, I can sit here and be like, oh, what price do I think it should be? It shouldn't be. It's too expensive. Everyone's got their own budgets and their own prices. But my thing is that if it's $1,000 device, then it's going to be every bell and whistle ever invented.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be $1,000 device. I think it's going to be 500. Yeah, even if it's 600. If it's $600 and plays the next COD, like, I'm very excited.
I mean, if it's $600 and plays the next COD, Nintendo is cooking. Like, they're done playing in their own lane. You know what I mean? If that's where they're at, they're like,
dude, that's the thing. Like, they can survive in their own lane.
That's the thing,
coming
right?
out of blood.
You know what I mean? Yeah, if they, like, it's 600, it plays COD. Not only does it play COD, it plays COD well. That's them going, we're back, motherfuckers. You guys are in trouble. You guys want to start thinking about handhelds? Boom. Like, there we go, we're back. Like, okay,
remember
cool.
back with, like, the DS, how much fucking effort developers would go to release some sort of version of a AAA game on the DS.
Yeah, dude, 100%.
They would basically create a second SKU, a whole second game.
A whole different experience, yeah.
Because people wanted to be there. If the Switch 2 can run the next COD, which Microsoft said it can, like, and you don't have to, and it's feature parity, it's over, honestly.
Legit. Imagine, oh no, I won't say that. Just imagine, right? They're like, oh yeah, now we're doing COD. And then they're like, by the way, coming to Nintendo Switch Online, Black Ops. Black Ops 2. Like, could you imagine that?
Please
That would be
fuck.
insane, bro. They port the Wii versions and the Wii U versions of the COD games that came out. That
Oh
would
no,
be,
no, no,
that
no.
would be so funny. That would be hilarious.
Richard, please.
Oh, that'd be so good.
I mean, you know, think about other things that might be about to happen. Like, think about all the games that they magically got running on the original Switch.
Mm.
A will run amazing on Switch 2. What magic will they be able to pull for this Switch? You know what I mean? Like, what's come out in the last, Red Dead Redemption 2? What could possibly run on the Switch 2 from last generation that was amazing? I think it's consoles coming out at the perfect time in hindsight. Like, I would have said a couple of years ago, no, I'm ready for Switch 2, but I think it's going to fucking come out at a great point. This generation's stale as fuck. Last generation, in hindsight, wasn't that terrible. And this thing's going to potentially be powerful enough to run shit from last generation.
True.
Like, things might be getting a bit special, to be honest.
Let's talk about it, right? Because I have a thing here. Launch games and 2025 games. What do you see this thing launching with?
So I think the Magic ports that I was talking about, I think there'll be a little bit of that, but I think that'll be a next year, the year after thing. Like, once like you take twos and stuff, realize how well this thing's selling, suddenly it's like, fuck, what Mafia games can we get running on the Switch? I think that's when it'll be more like that. But actually, just had a thought, like FIFA, for instance, right?
Uh-huh.
FIFA on Switch hasn't had a fucking upgrade in like 6 years.
No. It's the same game with a different cover.
Good chance this Switch 2 will just run the latest version of FIFA. Like, it won't have a Switch version. It'll just be the version, I'm excited. Games. I don't know, man. I think Nintendo, what they should do, and they sort of did it with the first Switch a little bit, and I think it was just by coincidence. I don't think they really designed it this way, but I would love to see them drop a banger a month for a year. I think they've got enough in queue. They haven't really been releasing a whole bunch of big stuff for a while. And look, I think maybe on month 3, it's just like the latest Zelda's been like ported to the Switch too. Like, it doesn't have to be like anything too like crazy. But I think if on day 1 it's like Mario Kart 9, and like month 2 it's like, hey, here's Mario Odyssey, or whatever. That's how I would like it to sort of roll on. But I do think they brought a lot of shit from the Wii U to the Switch 1 because no one played the Wii U, and they kind of got away with it. I don't think you can get away with that Switch 2. You can't just go, oh, here's Mario Golf up-res for Switch 2. Like, no, I want a new Mario Golf.
Here's how I think they're going to do it. I think we're going to get 2 big games. I think we're going to get 1 big third-party port, and then I think we're going to get... So, I've got Mario Kart 9. I think that'll be one of their big grabs is like, hey, here's Mario Kart 9. People wanted it. Yeah. Like, boom. I think we're going to get a 3D Mario game. It could be Odyssey 2, but I don't think it will be. I think it's just going to be some sort of Mario game that's going to come as well. I think
Odyssey and Mario Kart, it would be too
big, like, right? Yeah, I know. But I feel like they'll do something Mario. I feel like Mario Kart is massive, but I think they want something else there to sort of showcase this thing. Because if it's so different and it's like a whole bunch of new bells and whistles, they want to showcase that stuff, which is why I also think we're going to see a Switch sports game, which is going to take advantage of the fact that it's got 2 new buttons. It's got, all these different like scanners and shit inside of it and all that sort of stuff. Something to showcase how it all works. I think we're going to get a port of Tears of the Kingdom, and I think they're going to call it Tears of the Kingdom Master Edition. I think it's going to come with all the DLC that Tears of the Kingdom's had. Nice. I think it's going to be up-resed a little bit. I think it's going to look nicer. I think it's going to play better, and I think that's the game they're going to show that this is better than the original Switch. Look how much better this runs. I'm
fine with the up-res when a game was hitting the Switch's absolute fucking limits.
Yeah,
and it was like one of the biggest games of all time. So like, totally bring out a Switch 2 version. But like Mario Golf wasn't like hitting limits, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need that out of the Switch.
Yeah. I think their big third-party game at launch is going to be one of 2 games. I don't think you get both. I think you get one or you get the other. I think you either get GTA 5 because GTA 6 is right around the corner. I don't think Switch is going to get GTA 6. So I think drop a GTA 5 one last time so they can literally say it was on everything. It would be hilarious. But the one that I think will actually happen is Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring drops on the Switch too, and I think that is their Skyrim reveal. Like when Skyrim was revealed on the original Switch, people were like, "Holy shit, this thing plays Skyrim." I think Elden Ring playing on a Switch 2 would make people go, "Holy freaking shit!" Because I don't think Elden Ring is that demanding visually of a game, but I think it's demanding in the fact that it is very fast paced. You need button inputs to be on point and all that sort of stuff. So if this game console runs Elden Ring and it runs it well, I think that cements that, Nintendo have cooked. Like, they are cooking. Like, this is something people from all corners of the gaming landscape need to pay attention to.
And I think the part where like they've been cooking is like, and it doesn't look like The Witcher 3 on Switch. Like, no offense, like it was incredible what they did, but like, it looked like a PS1 game at times. You know what I mean?
It did.
If it looks, I could see, the Switch. I mean, it's gonna have a Just Dance as well, obviously.
Oh, 100%.
Let's get a few points there. Thank you on the board. I could see like Ubisofts and stuff dropping 1 or 2 games from the last few years just to sort of like show their support on day one. I could see like maybe Assassin's Creed Mirage dropping.
Oh, that'd be a good one actually to drop.
Maybe Shadows, maybe, but I feel like they got enough going on at the moment. But I have a feeling Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming to iPad. Now the iPad's quite a powerful machine, so I don't know if it'll just run on Switch by hitting install. But you never know. You never know. I think there'll be a lot of support. I don't think you want to be the publisher that didn't support the Switch 2 after the Switch 1.
I was going to say, the Switch 1 did enough that, like, this thing should have support out the gate. They don't have to prove anything this time like they had to with the Switch 1. We just come off Wii U, that, like, there was proof that had to be put out there, like, not this time. You know what I mean? Nintendo aren't running... Well, we're not 100% sure, but I don't think they're running so far behind the pack anymore in terms of power. I think they realized that they needed to sort of like up the ante a little bit, but also can still run their own race.
Yeah, look, there will be games that maybe don't get ported down to the Switch 2, but this generation hasn't really done much that's like Black Ops 6 is on the Xbox One, like the original base Xbox One. Like, it looks like shit, but it's like it's there, So there's not much this generation. I can't think of many games, like, maybe Hellblade or something wouldn't look the same on Switch 2, but like, there's not a lot where I'm like, oh, that wouldn't work. So I think games from the last 5 years, I think publishers will be just picking 1 or 2 and seeing how they go. I don't exactly know what that looks like for every publisher, but there'll be something from Sega. There'll be a bit of Capcom support, no doubt. Maybe the Resident Evil stuff. Maybe something getting that engine going on the Switch 2 might be easy to get that started with some of the remakes. I think there'll be a lot. I think there will be too much almost.
Yeah.
Especially when like the Xbox Series X launched with nothing, the PS5 launched with close to nothing. Like, it's been a while since we've had to like buy a console plus 6 games.
Yeah, like it's been a while since we've had a launch lineup.
Yeah. I'm actually quite excited. I'll probably get mine later in the year, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to be a day one adopter, but I'm excited to see what they announce. Yeah. Plus, I'm sure there'll be like a new IP or there'll be something fresh that was a bit more left of field as well.
Well, let's talk about 2025 as a whole, right? Because I think, like, I doubt we're going to get too much of like what the year has in store at like this reveal. I feel like we'll get one thing, maybe two, showing like what's to come. I think they're going to focus on what you'll be able to play day one. I think they want to show you what you can do from the get-go, which is smart.
maybe a month or two in tops. Yeah.
Yeah, but mate, do you have any predictions for what we could see on this console this year? I have a few, but I'm curious to see. Do you have anything that you think you have to see on this thing this year, or you expect to see on it, or you would like to see on it?
Not really. I think I've sort of summarized it pretty well before with like the third-party support. I just think there's going to be a lot more stuff where it's like, oh, they've announced this is coming out in September, and when you go and look at what it's coming out on, it's just like PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch. Like, it's just, there'll be some experiences that can't. Like I said, I don't think GTA 6 is going to launch on the Switch. I think there'll definitely be some games that aren't, but I wouldn't be surprised if the next Far Cry is just coming out on Switch. Just naturally, or at least Far Cry 6 or 5, or like I think there'll be a lot of games where it's like that game didn't do. Like I think there'll be games, right? Like say Far Cry 6, where it's come out, it's done well, but Ubisoft would have loved another 10 or 20% out of it. Mm. Perfect opportunity after all the updates and patches. Let's drop it on Switch too. Let's hit that new audience. Let's get it back in front of people, back top of mind. So that's my prediction. I think there's going to be a lot of games in the last few years that just didn't quite slap as hard as they probably needed to, and I think they're going to get their run on the Switch too.
Yeah, I like it.
So that's what I anticipate to see. The thing I keep thinking about, and I know I should really just get it fucking over it, is like, will Black Ops 6 be on it, or do you reckon it'll be the next COD that starts the 10-year contract? Like, I kind of feel like they'll just start afresh, but it'd be pretty dope if Black Ops 6 just suddenly appeared. But then, you know, it'll be $100 and it'll be for 3 months. You know, I don't know.
I can kind of see them doing it, to be honest. I could see Black Ops 6 being on there. I don't think they will, but I could see them doing it.
I'd be shocked if they didn't have it running internally, like, because it's the same engine, just to make sure it works. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it could be the tester. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I would love to see. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, what are your predictions? I'm sure you've thought about it.
Oh, mate. Oh, goodness gracious me. I'm going to get some cheap points out of the way, mate. I think we're going to see those Zelda remakes that everybody's been talking about coming to Switch for the last year. Like Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. I think we'll see those remakes happen. I think they're going to come to Switch too. And I think they're also going to come to the original Switch as well. But, yeah, keen to see them. I think, now, a lot of... Okay, so this is sort of like a wish list more than like a prediction thing, right? Because...
give me an idea, by the way.
Okay.
I'll jump in later.
I'd love to see what's going on with Smash Bros. Like, there was a lot of talk about Ultimate being it, but Sakurai's like... He's like, oh, I'm working on a game. And Sakurai works on one game. You know what I mean? Like, he does one thing, and he does Smash Bros.
I hope we at least get, like, just something like a, you know, higher refresh rate version or something. It already runs it. I don't know. I hope we get a little something. Just a little something.
It'd be so good. I think it's been long enough that maybe not year one, but like, I think the big game of next year is the next Animal Crossing. I think they've been cooking since that game dropped.
2018 or something, or 19.
Yeah, it's been like 5 years or something like that.
Yeah,
like it's been long enough that like, and it was such a hit, but there was also a pandemic. But I think that game would have been a hit regardless. And I think because it was such a hit the first time, people are waiting for what comes next. And I think that's why it's been very like dark, because they're like, okay, we need to make sure this isn't a fluke. We need to make sure that when we drop the next one, it has the same impact.
Yeah.
I'm keen. I think we're going to see 2 brand new IP. I think we're going to see a sequel to ARMS called Legs. No, I'm just kidding about that. That's not true. I think this year's big game is Metroid Prime 4. I think that is the one they're going to make the biggest push for this year. Yeah, I think that's going to be their big game, and I think thanks to the Switch 2, it's going to run like a mad mother, and I'm very excited about it.
Going head to head with Doom.
Yeah, I got 2 left, and these are like me just being very hopeful. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition comes out very, very soon. And it's the game that we've been waiting for a long time. We've always been like, why haven't they done like the port for this? They've ported every other Wii U game on the planet. They've literally done Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3 on the Switch. Why the hell at the very end of this life are we getting X? I think it's because we're going to get a new Xenoblade Chronicles game. I'd love 4, but I have a feeling we're going to get Xenoblade Chronicles X2. I think we're going to get a sequel to X, and that's why we're getting a port, a definitive edition of X, because we are continuing that story, that universe, that world. That's what I see coming next from Xenoblade. And I've just written this because I have no idea whether we're going to see it this year or next year. All I know is we're going to see it again because I need to. Fire Emblem. They've been cooking. They've got to have been cooking. Three Houses was the last mainline entry, so it's like it's been a while. It's been a while, and that's a big franchise. Like, people love Fire Emblem. I would love to know what they're working on next, and that could also be such a good like look at what this console can do now sort of game. You know what I mean? I think Fire Emblem could slap, and that would be a big one for me to see this year. And I mean, you know, Odyssey 2. I also thought we might see a big game from Xbox come to the Switch 2.
Yeah, I was about to go. I just had a few ideas while you were talking. I was going to go that direction. Firstly, just to add to my last prediction, I think we'll see a lot of trilogies. As in, like, hey, here's the Tomb Raider trilogy. here's shit that's like hasn't been on the Nintendo platform for 10 years that we've been up to. Bang, there you go. I also think we need to give mention to live service games. You know what I mean? Bring Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, man.
Start like Fortnite needs an update, Apex needs an update, Rocket League needs an update. Like get this shit running a bit better on the Switch too. You know.
Dress Sledge up like Donkey Kong. I'm down.
Oh, do it. But you get what I'm saying? Like these sort of games. If I was Xbox or if I was PlayStation, I would actually bring Forza or Gran Turismo to it. That's what I would do. I don't like. I know Xbox is probably about to release Halo on fucking PlayStation, which is just a blasphemy. But I think Forza needs some fresh blood in the audience. I think they've sort of had too many misses, and I think there's a lot of people that have moved on to other sims, other races.
Yeah.
And I think the way, like now that Forza 8 exists, it's been patched, it's running well, it has Bathurst, so it's officially launched. I think bring that to Switch, bring that new audience in, and allow me to play it wherever the fuck I please. And if I was PlayStation, I'd be wanting to do it with Gran Turismo, although I don't think they would ever let that thing leave a PlayStation console. So, be that as it may. And once you release Forza on the Switch, obviously Fable's engine is now running on the Switch. So, there's all sorts of shit you could suddenly start doing there. Obviously Minecraft, that'd probably be Xbox's first game on the Switch, to be honest. On the Switch 2. But see, there's the thing. The Switch 2 is going to run everything that's on the Switch. So there might be games that just never see an update and they just happen to be available.
Yeah, true. I want to jump off the back of that, right? Just before we end. If I could pick one game to come from Xbox and one game to come from PlayStation, I'd go for Xbox. I'd pick Sea Thieves. I think Sea Thieves on the Switch would bang.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, nice.
And if I had to pick one from PlayStation, it'd be Astrobot.
They'd
never do it, but that would be the one I'd pick. That on the go. Oh.
Yeah, I don't.
They'll never do it. They'll never do it.
Well, in some ways, it fits the platform, which is great, but it's like also one of the only things that people from the platform may want to play.
Yeah, do you know what's funny? And it's also like, it would be too funny for it to go there, considering the people that made it were like when they got their Game of the Year award, they were like, oh, we want to thank a company we can't really talk about for inspiring us. Like,
yeah.
It kind of belongs there.
I think PlayStation needs to start doing I think Xbox really nailed it last year with Sea of Thieves on PlayStation, where it's like, hey, this game ain't making no more money on Xbox. Like, let's bring it somewhere fresh. And I think the Switch is going to be that sort of place for a lot of games, like whether it's Siege. Siege's community is fine, but you know what I mean. Like, I think it will be a fresh space for a lot of games. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. And if the game doesn't live on Switch, I'll just cancel it.
I think Sea of Thieves on Switch would be such a vibe, because it's like you could literally showcase that in the way of like you're just walking around town, you put your Switch out, somebody else pulls your Switch out, suddenly you guys are on the same shit. You know what I mean? You guys are out there, you're doing your thing. Like, that would be sick. I think it works so well on the console.
I just think if Xbox is going to do that, they need to support that thing where the Switches talk to each other and they can play like a local Wi-Fi without connecting. Like, I know it's an online game, but it would be amazing if you could be like in a cafe, don't have to worry about internet, playing Sea of Thieves. Like,
that'd be a great way. That would be a great way for them to test out stuff for like their handheld. Like, that would be such a great feature for them to have on whatever this Xbox handheld becomes.
That is such an interesting point. Like, so many console games require internet connection, and getting that connection on handheld is such a pain in the ass. Like, I hope that's something that they sort of are thinking about. I don't want to see a 5G SIM card put in to solve this problem. You know what I mean? Solve it another way.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I'm actually quite excited. I trust that this console is going to be good. I don't think I'm overhyped. I think it's going to be good.
I'm sufficiently whelmed.
Sufficiently whelmed, yeah.
I'm ready.
I don't think I'll be underwhelmed.
Yeah. No. I think like with everything that's been revealed, leaked, I think it's impossible. Like, I think we're going in with like exactly what we want, because we've basically seen exactly what it is. Anything we get on top of it now will be a wow moment. You know what I mean? It's not like it's all going to be like, oh, it's going to be like, wait, it does that as well? It's got that as well? Like, oh my God, like, the leaks didn't give us everything, man. Like, that's crazy.
I think the only disappointment so far from the leaks is that the A, B, X, and Y aren't following the Xbox.
I wonder where you were going. I was gonna be like, oh, interesting. It's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Someone's
fair
got to
enough.
concede. Someone has
Yeah,
to.
it's constant battle between everybody, isn't it? It's so
And
funny.
the problem is like my brain's actually like when I'm playing Switch, I have no problem. When I'm playing Xbox, I have no problem. But I put that fucking shitty backbone thing on my fucking phone. I shouldn't call it shitty. I think my phone's the problem. The big light, the big camera bar at the back. I shouldn't actually call the controller shitty, but my experience has been shitty. I put that on my phone a few months ago and immediately was hitting the Switch A and B. Like my brain's like handheld, like that's where it goes. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So when the Xbox handheld launches, I am fucked.
Yeah, you are. You're going to be all over the place.
You know what they really need to do is put in like little like OLED buttons so that you can actually rearrange what's actually on the buttons. So that way,
That
if you're
would
a
be
Switch
cool.
gamer, you can sort of just slide on in.
Xbox will be the one who can see. They'll be like, guys, Elite Controller Series 3 allows you to do just that. Like, you can put the X, V, Y, wherever you want.
$800 controller, don't mind us.
Yeah. I'll buy it. Bro. Well, mate, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Mate, anybody's time. No, guys, thank you so much for listening. We're back, new year, new me. Nah, that's such a stupid freaking. I hate when people do that. Oh, new year, new me. It's like it's the same you, mate. The only thing that changed was the date. No, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. Who am I going to piss off this year? What was it? Vin Diesel the year before? Jeff Keighley last year? I'll pick someone. Nah, we're back. Sorry, Jake. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. If you have enjoyed and you are, wherever you're listening, like, subscribe, go to the website, oneupgames.com. That's where you find links to all of our stuff. YouTube, Twitch, all that fun stuff. You can find all the links there. You'll also find links to our socials if you want to follow us and everything we're doing. But that is going to do it from us this week, guys. Thank you so much for listening. As always, we really do appreciate it. And we will catch you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.